Hello, my loves, and welcome to another collective reading. I know it's been a little minute, but I went on vacation last week, and it's just been a tiring couple of days, and I'm like acting again and performing and singing again. And so, I apologize for the prolonged, what is it? Absence, sabbatical. Well, we're about to get into it right now because I definitely missed y'all. I've said my initial prayer right now, but if you would like to say one with me, I ask that our ancestors, spirit guides, and angels protect our minds, bodies, and spirits, and that they assist me in delivering divine messages to you so that you are able to receive information that will align you with your highest and greatest good. Ashe. And to also bless us with the gift of wisdom and discernment so that we are able to take divine action that is in alignment, empowered action. Y'all know how this go. But right, please take a moment to ground yourself, center yourself, and set an intention for what it is that you need healing and clarity and insights in on today. And we're going to get started. Hello, ancestors, spirit guides, and angels. What is it that you have for us? I've definitely missed the girly pops, the doodle bops. I'm gonna move this to the side because I don't like it being all in my face. What messages do you have for us in this collective, please and thank you? Are we feeling distracted? Are we feeling distracted? I'm feeling distracted. Again, if it don't apply, let it fly. But like kind of what I'm getting with this High Priestess and this Emperor card in reverse. And I even feel like, hey Brianna Marie, how you doing? Kind of what I'm feeling is that like there's this energetic push to be strong, maybe not even strong, but it's like direct and to move forward in this disciplined, masculine, direct, kind of what they're showing me. If I can just show you, it's kind of like the image that they're showing me, and it's kind of like in a desert, and there's all this sand, and there's a big brick wall or a big slab of concrete, right? And to get to where we want to go, we just have to get grounded, and we have to push this brick, and we have to go slow and steady and be consistent and be strong, and it's kind of muscly, and it takes a good amount of effort. And as we're pushing the concrete or slab of brick, it's like moving sand, right? And it's creating a pathway for us to walk quite clearly, but it's like it does require a bunch of effort. But kind of what I'm getting is we don't want to do that. And this may not be you. If it don't apply, let it fly. Right? The Knight of Cups and the Seven of Cups. It's like part of it is like I want to have fun. I want to eat good food. I want to lay about. I want to relax. I might want to smoke a little something, drink a little something, crack open a cookie jar. It kind of feels a little indulgent. It's like I want to indulge. I just want to sit in the sweetness of life. Right? But there's this dichotomy of where we want to go and where we are. And it's not that you can't have those sweet things, but there's something so pointed about in this specific moment. We may even need to like step away completely from the indulgences, right? We may even need to fast. right? Because right now, we're indulging in the indulgences. We are indulging in the indulgences, right? And again, going back, it's like a distraction, or it's maybe even procrastination, which I think is a better way to describe it. It's procrastination, where like instead of doing the things that we know we need to do, we're like, I just want things to be nice and easy and fun and pleasurable. That's just not where we are. And it kind of seems like we have the ideas and we have the thought that we should get up and do X, Y, and Z, but we just don't want to. We just don't want to. And kind of what I'm getting, and I feel like the divine is even begging us. I feel like the divine is even begging us, like, damn. It feels like the divine is begging us in the way we're like, okay, maybe you don't have to be super disciplined right now, but you could at least do a little bit. Can you do a little bit? A little bit. You could do a little bit. Just a little bit. Damn, girl. But we don't want to do nothing. And I'm not even going to hold you. I'm in the same boat with y'all. I'm in the same boat with y'all. I don't want to do that much. And some of us, we're afraid of our potential. Some of us, we don't want to hurt. Some of us, we don't want to fail. Some of us, it's a little bit of perfectionism. But the biggest thing is that, like, many of us were kind of like, maybe like irritated isn't the right word, but it may be just dissatisfied with where we are and what we have. And the only way to get there is by doing this, like, discipline. Being disciplined and doing this thing and indulging. And this is like related but unrelated. Page of Swords in reverse. I'm guessing what many of us need to do right now is journal. Some of us maybe even like write poetry. I'm getting that like writing poetry would be very, very helpful. There's something about like artistically expressing ourselves. Now I got flagged. What was I talking about? It's like poetry or like expressing ourselves with a journal. Or maybe even I'm getting for some of us with this Page of Swords in reverse is like reading a book. And this was like a personal call out, right? Where it's like, it's not listening to Audible, but it's reading a book. There's something about like the conscious effort and the discipline it requires to actively read a book, which just feels like really important right now. Right? But what was I saying? Yes, something that's been coming through to me like really recently is like the word consequences. And y'all know I love consequences. Y'all know I love talking about consequences. I'm consequence girly pop down. But like consequences and cost. Right? Hey, there is a cost to everything that we desire. You know what I mean? To have a healthy mind, spirit, and body, you know what I mean? You have to give up doom scrolling. You have to give up eating fried food every day. You've got to give up having like a pint of ice cream once a night and 3 donuts in the morning and sugary lattes and all that good stuff. You know, to have a savings and a cushion in your bank account, you got to give up shopping on Amazon 3-4 times a week. You know what I mean? To have a strong, functioning body, you got to give up laying on the couch, you know, and go to the gym, even when it's cold outside, even when you don't want to leave the house. To have a bright, nimble mind, you have to give up being a couch potato and watching Netflix endlessly. You know what I mean? And pick up a book or learn a new skill or journaling and writing. There is a cost to the things that we want. There is a cost. There is a price that must be paid. There's a price that must be paid. And so many of us, We just don't want the thing. We want the highest expression of the thing with this Ten of Pentacles, right? The Ten of Pentacles is currently in reverse, which is just giving that many of us, we're going nowhere quickly. We're going nowhere quickly, right? We don't just want the thing. We just don't want a healthy body. We want a hot body that we can lift 150 pounds and throw it across the room. You know what I mean? We just don't want to be the brightest cookie. We want to be able to write a book and, stand on stages and give eloquent speeches and teach the masses, right? Many of us, we don't just want a nice cushion. We want to be rich with a big house. You know what I mean? What if I want to be a hot potato? I like hot potatoes too. Then you take that potato and you bake it. You hear me? Right? There is a cost. There is a cost, and we need to stop distracting ourselves. And even with this Page of Swords in reverse, I'm telling ourselves little white lies to keep ourselves comfortable. Right? Little white lies that keep ourselves comfortable. This Moon card, what? This Moon card, what we're doing with this Moon card and this Five of Pentacles, we are living in, I was going to say creating, but they said living in. I was going to say that we are creating an environment to I don't want to say mediocrity, but let me just say what it needs to be said. We are creating an environment that feels emotionally mediocre or emotionally dissatisfied, right? And I was talking to somebody other day about like waves and vibrations and the hard points in our life, right? Where in order to get to the high peaks where things feel really happy and blissful and ecstasy is there and things feel good, like you're at your nirvana, you're at your bliss, sometimes we need to go to the lowest end and sometimes feel depression and sadness and grief and hurt and pain so that we can take those emotions and catalyze them and learn about them and find out what our circumstances are trying to teach us so that we can integrate them into our soul so that we can go back to the top of the wave or the vibration again, right? Life goes in cycles. It goes in circles and they're like waves and vibrations. And the thing is kind of what the divine is showing me is that we're keeping our wavelength right here. We're not challenging ourselves too much and we're not getting too much satisfaction. Uh-oh. But so many of us, we desire to have satisfaction and fulfillment at this high level, but you have got to push yourself down here and not push yourself to this masochistic or sadistic, I'm not sure if I'm using the appropriate words, but pushing ourselves to this area where we're sad or depressed or things have to be difficult or painful, right? Or suffer. Suffer is the word that wants to come through. But it is okay for things to be difficult. It is okay for things to take effort. It is okay for you to have to exert consistent effort, because once you exert consistent effort, you know what I mean, you are able to live in a space of consistent fulfillment. Yeah. But going back to what the divine was saying, there's a lot of messages coming through. With this Moon card, we are choosing to live in a place where we kind of feel this like dissonance, this emotional dissonance. We know we may be indulging a little too much. We know that there's more that we could be doing. We know that we want to push ourselves but decide not to. We know. We know. We know. But the safety of what we know and what we have, the safety of the indulgences that we already have access to in comparison to the indulgences that are immediately beyond our reach is so much more comfortable to live with. And like, what I mean by that, let's take the example of shopping, right? You keep going shopping on Amazon, 2, 3, 4 times a week, but you tell yourself you want a designer bag, or you want a new car, or you want to purchase a house, right? The thing is, it's the same money. It's the same money. The $80 to $100 you're spending in a week on, frivolous things, you could be giving up the cost of that, putting that in a savings account to buy a designer bag, to buy a house, to buy a really big vacation. But you have to give something up, and you have to give it up consistently for an extended period of time, so that you can have this bigger, more fulfilled experience that we're looking for. I hope this analogy is making sense. Right, my loves? Right underneath these cards, we have the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles is upright. Thank God, because so many of these cards have been in reverse. But the King of Pentacles they just keep going with these cards at the bottom of the deck. I don't even feel like I need to shuffle. The King of Pentacles knows this. The King of Pentacles knows when to spend resources and when to hold on to them. How to spend their time, when they've had enough, and when they can indulge, when it's time to indulge, and when it's time to get to work. You know what I mean? The King of Pentacles has done this process time and time and time again, and so much of this feels like self-mastery. And with this card sitting next to the Two of Pentacles, it's about asking, what do you want? Right? Because the truth of the matter is, we all have free will, and we do not have to give up our indulgences. We don't. I had a brownie today. I had a brownie and a salad with steak on it. It was so good. I really wanted Wingstop, but I settled on that brownie and that salad. Right? I don't even know why I brought that up, girl. The thought left me. Yes, we don't have to give up our indulgences, but we have the choice to. Right? And that's the thing. And I need to tell y'all that, right? I wanted to make sure that we all had a good reading today, but had I chosen to have the Wingstop, because I know when I eat Wingstop, it makes me sluggish and heavy, and it sometimes clouds my crown. Right? I knew that the cost, or the price that I would have paid is a good reading for all of us. You know what I mean? So instead of going to Wingstop, I ordered a salad. The salad cost more money, but I am now able to share the value that I have for the world with you all. I could have gotten a Wingstop, and to be honest, I've done it before. I've gotten a Wingstop and get on here and gave a mediocre reading. I've done it before. Right? We all do it. But just what the divine is saying is just like, and again with this Mercury retrograde, we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse, 5 of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, Judgment card. And this is something else. There's like a TikTok going around. If there's like a, I'm not going to call her homeless, but sometimes you see, like, I'm going to call her a bag lady. She had a bunch of bags, and she's like, when you see people on the subway or on the corner of the street and they talking to themselves. She was talking about Galatians. I think it was Galatians 6:7 or Galatians 7:6. Right? And with this Judgment card in reverse, and I say this all the time, what she was saying is like, why do you think that you don't have to reap what you sow? Right? And whenever the Judgment card comes up, for me, or at least is the way that I see it, that you reap what you sow. The effort that you put in is the result that you receive. There's another phrase that's coming to mind. People receive what they work for, not what they deserve. Right? Because I think we all deserve the beautiful things about life. I think we all deserve the indulgences that we dream. And I think that God wants us to have them. If God didn't want us to have them, we wouldn't be able to think of them. right? And imagine them and have a desire in our hearts to obtain them. So this is really about, and again, like with Mercury going through retrograde, and even as we come up on the end of the year, I really just feel like in this moment, the Most High wants us to reflect on, what does overindulgence get us? What does kind of result does overindulgence yield? Right? Because with this Five of Cups, some of us, we're dissatisfied. We're hurt. We're disappointed. We're unhappy. Some of us feel like we're undeserving. We want more. Right? But with this Page of Pentacles in reverse and this Knight of Pentacles in reverse, it feels like the divine is asking us, well, what efforts have we made to make that a reality? How have we spent our time to call that into our current timeline? And how often have we done it? Because again, going back to that original image that I was getting of that person pushing against that hard and steady like slab of concrete and brick. Because I'm kind of getting that some of us, we may dibble into it for like 5 to 10 minutes. We may dibble into it for like a week or two. We may touch base on it for a month. But what does it look like if we're able to consistently do it for a year? Right? This Page of Pentacles feels like the effort, and the Knight of Pentacles here feels like the amount of time that we do it for. And with that, Three of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, right? That instead of, because what we're looking for is this manifestation to come through. What we're looking for is this manifestation to fall into our lap, into our hands, into our current reality. Which instead of, what we need to be looking for is to becoming a person who lives in that, right? How do we become a person who lives in that reality? What type of person, was always taking exotic trips? What kind of person has a fat bank account? What type of person has a healthy mind, spirit, and body? What kind of food do they eat? How often are they going to therapy? You know what I mean? How often are they engaging with their self-care? And that's the other thing with this Eight of Pentacles. And it's not that it's supposed to be a perfect process. Because the Eight of Pentacles is looking for perfection. But they understand that nothing... What is it? And this quote from my Pilates teacher is coming through, where she says, practice makes what? And most people will say perfect. She says, no, practice makes practice. Practice makes practice. And how do we consistently engage with the process of reevaluating and sharpening the tools in our tool belts and our souls and our bodies to get to the type of life that we're looking to live for? Yes. I feel like that was the reading. We all do. I'm going to get us 3 cards, and I'm going to get us an oracle card. Can we get a clear and concise action plan, please, and thank you? I love you all. Can we get a clear and concise action plan, please, and thank you? 4 of Pentacles, 2 of Swords, and this King of Swords was the last card at the bottom of the deck, and I chose not to interpret it, but he came out, and then the Knight of Cups in reverse is in reverse at the bottom of the deck. Yes, yet again. And again, with Mercury in retrograde, I really do feel like that the divine just really wants us to think. The action plan here is to think. To think, right, about what it is that we're holding on to. And there's also that image of like holding on to. Right? It's not just it's so funny. It's what results are we holding on to? That's what it is. It's like what habits, ways of being, and belief systems, the ways that we spend our time. Yes. that we're holding on to. But the divine is saying when we hold on to certain things, or, certain indulgences, or the frequency in which we engage with these indulgences, you also hold on to the payoff, right? When you hold on to this way of being, you hold on to the payoff that you're getting. You hold on to the seed that you're sowing. You hold on to the results that you're getting. Yeah. And what does it look like to give that up? Not just what does it look like to give that up, but when you think about the life that you want to live, or what you want your life to look like, what is the cost? What is the cost? What do you have to give up? What do you have to have less of? What is the trade-off? And it's not that you have to come to an immediate conclusion, but now they're talking about comfort, right? There's this consistent desire for comfort, or this consistent pursuit of comfort. We want to feel good. We want things to be easy. Right? There's comfort, but in order to grow, things have to be uncomfortable. Without discomfort, there is no growth. Unless you tear your muscles will not get bigger. Unless you challenge your mind with new ideas, new thought processes, you know what I mean? You will not learn a new skill. Right? Unless you put yourself out into the world and you open your heart up to being hurt, you know what I mean? You will not be able to fall in love. Falling in love is for the brave. Unless you are open and willing to be vulnerable, you cannot have a deep, intimate relationship with anyone. Yeah. I'm gonna get us some oracle cards. Of course, my loves. It is my pleasure. Can you get an oracle card, please? Love doesn't have to mean near. Some are better loved at a distance, for a while anyway, and that's okay. Excuse me. Besides, love really doesn't know the difference. Tally ho, the universe. Now, the funny thing of what I'm getting is that when some of us, we're trying to call in manifestations, right? And because we love these specific ideas, just because we do not see them coming in immediately, just because we do not see them coming in soon, does not mean that they are not on their way. Right? Again, if your heart, if your body, if your being is yearning for something, you can still love it, and you don't have to feel like forlorn that it's never going to get to you, that it's never going to come in. Right? And that's also something else that's coming through. Like some of us, when we don't see progress of something, we kind of give up, and then we turn to those indulgences. We turn to those things that make us feel comfortable and at ease. Well, I don't see it coming anyway. Excuse me. I don't see it popping up into my reality, so it must not be coming. Right? But you still feel a very strong desire for it. You still feel it in your heart space. You still feel it. Right? And just because you don't see it does not mean that it's not on its way. Love is never in vain. Right? Taking it to the next level. Love is never in vain. When you finally see what this whole time, space thing is all about, you are going to laugh, you are going to cry, and you are going to be so happy you loved as much as you did, dotingly, the universe. And continuing on with that message, right? It's also about like not giving up just because you love an idea. You know what I mean? I should have never have gotten my hopes up. I should have never tried. I should have never made the attempt. No, you should have. You should have. It's never in vain, my loves. It's never in vain. Lovely messages. One more oracle card, please and thank you. I'm feeling really inspired by this collective reading. I hope you are. We got 2 that popped out. And I'm gonna read this one. I said just read this one. But if anybody's interested, I'll still show it. Activated Earth. I believe it says power lines, power places, ley lines, trust where you're led. But the one I'm going to read is the blue flame. I'm sorry. Spontaneous awakening, activation, integration time. And that's the other thing. I feel like this is connected to all those swords in the action plan we saw, right? That Page of Swords in reverse in the beginning. And again, that didn't feel like that Page of Swords. Sometimes reversals are bad, but it didn't feel bad. It just felt like, usually the Page of Swords is looking to learn something or to have a conversation or to reach out and communicate their curiosities. Again, it feels very internal. Again, with this Mercury retrograde cycle, it feels like I need to be curious and inquisitive and learn about the past. Or more importantly, what I'm feeling is our internal worlds. And just what I'm picking up from this blue flame is that as we are journaling and digging into ourselves and the progress we've made over the course of the year, that process is going to be the je ne sais quoi, you know what I mean? The final tool that we need to integrate these energies and to actually come out on the other end of this retrograde process anew and ready to give up those things, right? This is a card of awakening and energetic upgrades. Perhaps you're going through a period of spontaneous awakening, receiving visions and having experiences that are out of the ordinary. In the West, little is known about the process of spontaneous awakening, and it can feel very scary when we're going through it alone. Elsewhere, they can be seen as auspicious experiences, with those going through them being treated with tenderness and care. The blue beings are thought to be activating beings with great potential for healing and upgrading our cellular structures. They appear in moments of extreme awakening, activating a physical kundalini awakening in deep cellular. Let me slow down. They appear in moments of extreme awakening, activating a physical kundalini awakening in deep cellular and DNA healing. Many people glamorize the awakening process. However, in reality, it's much more messier and more difficult than most of us believe. We must first let go of what we think we know for sure and how we make sense of the world. This isn't easy. The awakening process, even when it is spontaneous, takes a considerable amount of time to integrate. Again, there's that word, integration. An awakening without integration can leave us feeling very ungrounded. If you're in the midst of an awakening, the process never ends. Treat this time as deeply sacred and give yourself ample space to ground and to integrate the extreme changes that you were going through. And then the starseed activation. I allow myself to surrender to the awakening process that is right for me. I take things slowly and integrate my experience each and every day. Right? And something else that's coming through, right, is as we make progress towards our dreams and our aspirations, our goals, our desires, that it can be very, very slow. You know what I mean? That us all receiving this message right now is kind of just where we need it to be at. We don't have to wake up tomorrow morning and give up all our indulgences and be done and be this perfect, healed being, that's in perfect in alignment and I'm ready to give everything up. You know what I mean? Your progress can just be receiving this. Your progress tomorrow can just be thinking about it. Your process... I'm sorry. My mom called me. I'll call her right back after this. Your process the day after that can just be journaling. Your process the day after that could you being curious. Your process the day after that one could you be taking a break. You know, next week, maybe you'll have one less milkshake. Right? Exactly. Exactly. It doesn't need to be big. It doesn't need to be extravagant. It doesn't need to be crazy. Yes, my loves. That's all I have for us. I really do hope this helps. Please thank your ancestors, spirit guides, and angels for allowing me to deliver these messages to you. And until next time, this is XOMO. Bye-bye.